Hi, welcome to the new episode of Sportsy Let's Aim Sports. Today we have with us two-time Olympian, USA Hall of Fame table tennis athlete Khoa Nguyen. Khoa, a Team USA captain of 2004 Athens Olympic after being a team member of 2000 Sydney Olympics. He has played in a few World Championship, Pro Tours, leagues in Sweden and Germany, won a gold medal in the Pan American Games, and represented North America in the World Cup. Please welcome member of USA Table Tennis Hall of Fame, member of 2013 USA National Team, former member of USA Table Tennis Board of Directors, 2000 and 2004 member of USA Olympic Team, captain of 2004 US Olympic Table Tennis Team, 2000 North America champion, Khoa Nguyen. Thank you for watching, thank you for liking, and thank you for sharing. But please do subscribe to our channel Sportsy Says and help us spread the word about Sportsy. We go with the same handle Sportsy Says across all social media platforms. Hi Khoa, it's great to have you on our platform Sportsy Let's Aim Sports.
Hi Sid. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so you can't imagine how much fun I'm going to look forward to in this chat with you for 25-30 minutes that we have. For the viewers, we are Khoa Nguyen, 2 times Olympian, captain of USA table tennis team for Olympics in 2004, and there's a long list of accolades that he has. Which one of the best thing is being the Table Tennis Hall of Fame for the USA table tennis. So yes, and we'll get to hear the story along the way. But Khoa, my first question to you that you have mentioned that your dad was instrumental in getting you into table tennis. But was table tennis always your first choice, or was there any other sport that you played before table tennis and finally decided I want to be in table tennis?
I think at the time, my dad taught me. I think he because he really liked table tennis, and he wasn't really a competitive table tennis player, but he really liked the sport. And so at the time, I don't think I have any other choices besides
Okay.
well, also besides all my brothers played. So it's a good it's a good thing to get everybody together and playing the same time. And so all of my brothers played, and yeah, I think that's or was on my only focus. It's just table tennis at the time, and yeah, and then we just played almost every day, right? With my brothers.
Okay.
So it's a great family thing also.
It was a family game, right? Everybody came and you picked it up and
Right, yeah. At the time, right, my older brother was a lot better, and so but we at the time, was just more for fun than anything else, right? And I think it was great that, but yeah, it was definitely my dad that actually done all that. So
But how did that happen? Because table tennis was more of a recreational sport than a very high level competitive sport, and it used to be played at the fun level. So what was the thought process? Did you get a chance to ask your dad and your brother that what was the thought process of making you professional into table tennis?
no, I think beginning is just more for fun. I think we all played, and I'm sure he hoped that all of us, got to a top level at some point. But I think over time, I've gotten a little bit better. My brother, they played, but they probably didn't improve as much. But also, I'm not sure if they were interested in it after a while, after a few years. But at the end, I have 3 brothers, so at the end, my younger brother played a little bit, but yeah, and then I kept going.
Okay.
They obviously they did other things, but yeah, I was the only one that he probably thought I had more potential also because I played a lot and I had more success. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it just happens, right? But in the
Eh,
beginning, it's definitely just more for fun. It wasn't.
I-
But I think once you start competing and then you have success in winning matches and winning titles, I think that it helps boost your confidence, and definitely that helped to keep going.
Excellent,
Win-
excellent.
Winning
And
always, winning always helps. Yeah, it does. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, right?
Okay, excellent. Kumar. So when you thought of, okay, obviously as a kid, nobody decides whether that I want to make it as a profession or no. But the moment you understood that, okay, this is going to be my professional journey, I'm going to pick it up professionally. So what was your aspiration, and what was your inspiration, and what kept you motivated to reach where all the heights that you reached?
Um, it's it's hard to say with any one thing, but definitely because you train so hard, like just like everybody else. I'm not any different. Training 3 4 hours a day and 5 6 days a week. But I think definitely the winning the events, right? That you set goals for. That really helped to keep going. Um, but um, I think it always, I think for thinking of professional, right? That wasn't in my mind at the time, right? Because yeah, we just played and we just like to play um, when it's time to go practice, we start training and yeah, I mean it was fun, definitely. But once you start competing, then it gets more difficult, things like that. So
So was
uh,
there anybody that you actually looked up to? Okay, this is the player I look up to, and this is what I want to follow in my life.
I think there was a few players that there's the Swedish players at the time where they had very big success. They were one of the best players in the world, and
Right.
he actually like I think Jan Ove Waldner. That's what's probably one of my favorite at the time when I was started growing up. So I think that's. But to aspire to be that level, right? I don't think I did. I just like watched him play and things like that. Um, but yeah, I mean that's
Wow. So you're just honestly speaking, it's like a person or a player of your stature who has like North America champion, two-time Olympian, the USA table tennis captain, and a Hall of Fame member. Everything is there, but you're just putting it down. It's like, okay, this was there because I played for fun. That was my game. I did it. But as a person or athlete, at every stage that you had, from early stage to your retirement, all the things that you had, what were the learnings at every stage that you got in your life which actually help you grow beyond an athlete?
yeah. For me, I think I took a very unique path. It's the load less travel because I actually went to school. I didn't stop playing. Well, I practiced and then I went to school, high school, college, got my degree. So I never, I had a brief uh, a break right after high school, uh, just to go to training in New York. But other than that, yeah, I kept going, right? I didn't stop school, which is very important for my parents and obviously. So that's why it's a little bit different road than everybody else because most of my the guys that I competed against, right? They went full professional.
Hmm.
They went to play leagues in Europe, things like that. And so, so yeah, so definitely after high school, college, right? I graduated, and then I think that's where my path changed. Decided to maybe it's time to put a little more time to dedicate a little bit more to play against better players. So actually, after college, that's when I actually went training in Sweden, and that made a big difference. Um, yeah, in my game because before that, I mainly trained at home, and
Hmm.
so in that stage, that was I think that took a very different path. So I've gotten a lot better uh, after college, so not before.
Okay.
So it's a little bit slightly different path than everybody else, but and then on right, just started got a lot better, and then started thinking about the Olympics, and so yeah,
Okay. Interesting. As you said, I'm going to ask you that question because you are a computer science engineer and have a successful career in the software industry, but the whole past of being a very competitive and special athlete. So, in what has been your best moment of your playing career, or if you can pick one, or you, or with so many things, I might you may pick two or three, but
I guess that's pretty easy, I guess, because the definitely for me the Olympics, yeah, making the Olympic team was is always it's the highlight. I mean, it's uh, definitely the first time in 2000.
Okay,
Yeah, that's when I made it the first time because it just right because it took a long time to get there.
correct.
Uh, I actually tried out a few times. 88 because that's when the Olympics became a table said it became an official sport. 88, 92, 96. So pretty much every 4 years since then. So when I made it right, it was just a combination of right a lot of hard work uh, and so definitely that would be the top of my list for sure.
Okay.
Um, and the second one is probably that's pretty easy too. That's in 2004, right? We made it the second time. So that um, yeah,
And captaining the team as well.
yeah, it was great. I think it's I mean every Olympic has a different experience, but just making even the yeah, it's his first time it was unbelievable. So it's just uh,
Y-
a lot of work and also a lot of support from a lot of people too. So
Right. So and playing your second Olympic as a captain, and that too at Athens, where the whole Olympic originated. So there's a different feel to that place.
oh, absolutely, yeah, that actually yeah that because the birthplace Olympics and so yeah it made it more special. I think, yeah.
Yeah. So, Kwa, you, as you said, you took a different path as not going professional, but keep playing at the international level, and having your academics, your school, college, your jobs, everything is done. So, as a professional athlete, as an athlete, competitive athlete, and a professional career, what has sports taught you that actually you can implement it here better in your the parallel professional life?
Yeah, it's yeah, there are some things that it does help you in my career, be it mine was computer science. But I think one thing would be I think persistence. Yeah, because in computer science we saw a lot of problems and sometimes things doesn't come right away.
Yeah.
So you just have to keep banging at it and eventually you'll find a solution, things like that. So because Taylor said the same thing, right? It's not you don't always win. It's obviously there's a lot of losses before you actually win something, and so it takes a lot of time. You just have to be patient and don't rush into things, but definitely persistent. That part of it helps my career quite a bit. Um,
Interesting.
yeah,
And uh, and a lot of people like in new age that you get to see that you being a Hall of Fame and director of table tennis as a member of table tennis federation in the US, you get to see the new generation also coming up and playing. So how do you think what has changed from where you played and what the current generation is playing? What has changed other than the probably the speed? What else has changed?
yeah, definitely. Now in the U.S. Is probably a better time to start because there's more resources available. There's more
Mm.
clubs available. There's more access to high level coaches available. That really helped quite a bit because now if you want to get better, you can get better. Just matter if you putting the time to do it and having the goal. But there's more resources that definitely helped a lot. And as you mentioned, right, the techniques has changed a little bit. Also, the game has changed, the rules and things like that. But especially in the U.S. in the Bay Area, we definitely have more resources now to get better if you want to get better.
Yes, and being a computer science person working in the software industry, what do you think the role of technology in the development of table tennis as a game?
Yeah, I mean back then when I was playing, well, right, it's all manual, right? You figured out your technique and you watch other players, but it's very manual process, right? If, for example, like playing matches, you had to write down things, what you did well, you did wrong, and but it's not very exact science. So I think with technology, things it can really help. You can pinpoint, where your weaknesses are, what you need, parts you need to improve, and it's more exact because there's actually technology behind it. I mean, I had it back then. It would make it a lot easier.
Yeah,
But yeah, I definitely, if I were playing now, I definitely that would be a tool. Definitely that
right,
I would. Yeah.
right. Interesting. And as you said, right, that I wish I had the technology back by then. And one of the India's still playing, one of the legends of Indian table tennis is Sharath Kamal. And you mentioned that meeting him and playing with him for at Athens is what you mentioned. And he also said the same thing. I wish I had the technology when I started my career and not at the fag end of my career. So this we have the listeners and the viewers of the channel which are mainly in India, and Sharath Kamal is like one of the probably the legends of for Indian table tennis. So what you met him at Athens, and you also got to meet him some time back. So what do you recall about Sharath Kamal as one of the greatest Indian athlete in table tennis?
Great. I mean, when we were in Athens, I think we just, I don't know, the coaches, they saw, all right, oh, you need somebody to train before your matches, and and he was available, and I was available. Yeah, I mean, it's at that time he was definitely a lot better than I was, and so it was great. It was good for me to learn a little bit about his game, and yeah, I mean, we trained probably like a few games right here and there, right? But it was great, though. Yeah, I mean. And then see him again when he came back to the US. So it's great. Yeah, he's a very
Uh,
good player. He's got a lot better.
Yeah, and he is like a goat. He doesn't he's like a wine. It's like getting better with the age and everything. It doesn't seem to give up on anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So again, it's about the phenomenal journey and being part of the federation. That what do you think that if you get a chance to do one thing differently about your playing career, uh, what would that be?
Um, I think I started. I guess I could have started earlier. Meaning, started training overseas sooner than what I had. I didn't start really training overseas until after my college career, after I started working. I think if I had started sooner, maybe I had probably a lot more success than as opposed to a lot later. Uh, I think that probably would have been it, right? But at the time, I want to focus on like my schooling, my education, and so that's why it wasn't a bad thing. But right, you just can't have everything. So
Yeah, and irrespective of that, there's a long list of all the accolades that you have with you. So we always talk about, say in India, we always talk about working towards making India a sporting nation. So and we know the USA has got the programs like NCAA, and a lot of focus goes towards sports as a from the childhood perspective. So what do you think that is USA doing it differently by introducing sports at the early age, and how does it impact in the long the attitude or the aptitude of a person in long way?
yeah, I mean we're trying to grow the sport here, and definitely introduce that into schools. It's definitely a start, but it's not that easy to do. So right now, our collegiate program is actually growing quite a bit. We have some schools that actually give scholarship for table tennis players, so that helps quite a bit. But I think it's definitely we definitely need to grow from the grassroots, but that's going to take some time to do. Um,
Hmm.
but at the meantime, the clubs are growing, so that really helped a lot. A lot more clubs than when I was playing. They're very good facilities. They're not just warehouses, so they're huge facilities with good coaches. So it's definitely getting a lot better than it was before.
Interesting. And one question that I always have, because India is being called a cricketing nation, and all other sports are playing the catch up. And also in the US, we are talking about the baseball, basketball,
Mhm.
football. Those are the sports which are always in the front line. So how do you think the game like table tennis can grow more, and how do you attract more and more kids to play, even in the developed place like USA?
Yeah, that's always the $1 million question, right? So you're always competing with the top three, right? Like you mentioned. But not only that, there's other sports too. I mean, there's golf, there's tennis, right? There's
Yeah.
but I think what's trying to get in front of TV. I think once the people actually, when they see it on TV, they think it's amazing. So he doesn't get a lot of TV time, but when they do, it really helps a lot to have
Hmm.
more on the networks, on the big major channels. But I think it's going to take a while to get there. But there are, but I think that the clubs helps a lot too, because once you see it on TV, it's great. And now, how do I get, where do I play? So that's what the clubs helps a lot, right? There's something in your area, so it's easier to get access to. So it's a combination of a lot of things.
Right. And so Kwa, you mentioned earlier that the education played a good role in your playing days, like being a computer science grad and engineering solution problem solving will help you on the field. But what are the things on field actually help you in being good at education as well?
Yeah, I think believe it or not, I mean there's a lot of once you get to a certain level, it's the mental game is very important. It's not just the technique, but how you approach the game, how you think about how you're playing. So it's not just about the back end, the forehand, things like that. It's more how you approach tournaments, competition, and so yeah. So you're because it's an individual sport, so you're always thinking about the next step, things like that, and so yeah, that really helped, um, you know, my education and vice versa. And so,
So the concentration and the focus actually help you in
oh,
education as well, probably.
oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. So Kwa is if I may ask, so what is that one advice that you got while growing up to be a professional player that you actually would like to pass on to the next generation? What that could be?
Um,
Something
yeah,
that really change your probably something that really change the way you look at things.
yeah. I mean, if you think that you should, if you like something and you're not really sure which path you should take, um, I think the best thing just go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes you're not really sure. You want to take path A, you go this route, or yeah, you just have to, go where you gut. Yeah, just go for it.
Just go for it. I think that is it's like the way Nike says just do it. I think what you said, just go for it. I think that makes a punchline of the whole thing. And after, again, my last question to you is, after a glorious career that you had, and uh, what what is your dream to give it back to the sport that gave you so much?
Um, uh, yeah, yeah. For the past few years, I've been coaching. Not as much as I like it, but I have some students that I think have a lot of potential. So I think that's one way is to pass on my knowledge to some of the younger players. It's great. Coaching is a definitely different area that definitely not very easy to do. I mean, not just because you're used to have success on the table doesn't mean that have success coaching. It's just a different areas of the game. But oh, I like coaching a lot also. So.
Okay. And what will give beyond your playing days? What will give you the biggest joy?
I right now,
As a coach, what will give you the biggest joy?
uh, to see my students right to have a lot of success, meaning right. I think the ultimate success is getting on the Olympic team. That's the ultimate success. Yeah.
Yes. What you achieved, what the satisfaction that you gave it to your coach, I think that is something that you want from your athlete
Oh,
as well.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent, Khoa, and we wish you all the best for all those things after a glorious career of playing days now and in coaching. We really wish you a best for your students to be at the world stage and world podium, and keep doing that. It's tremendous service that you have given to the sport, and we continue to look forward to having that more and more. So thank you, Khoa, and wish you all the best, and take care and stay safe.
Great. All right. Thank you. All right. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you for watching, thank you for liking, and thank you for sharing. But please do subscribe to our channel Sportsy Says and help us spread the word about Sportsy. We go with the same handle Sportsy Says across all social media platforms.